Welcome everyone, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. Having a good time walking around downtown here. Gonna be checking out some of the sights. Check out this, see that beautiful building right there? That's the Red Lion Hotel. And that's where I'm staying, big beautiful old hotel. The room is gigantic, bigger than I don't think I've ever had a room that big. And this is just a regular old room. I wonder what their suites look like. But I'm here today enjoying myself. I'll be taking you on some of the adventures I'll be going on down here in St. Louis. And it's absolutely nice out here. I love it. Been here a few years ago and loved it so much I wanted to come back. So let's go walk around and see what we can find. Today I'm going to be facing my fears of heights and going up that big monster up there, the St. Louis Arch. And it's a whole lot bigger than what it looks on camera. Say, you may remember the show Animaniacs, and what were they called, the Good Feathers? Pesto, Bobby, and Squint, and they had the God Pigeon. I love that show. I miss that show. That was like the one show I always watched when I got home from school. Do you know the Good Feathers, buddy? Huh? Do you know of them? Hey, don't hide behind the tree. Do you know the Good Feathers? Do you know Pesto, Bobby, and Squint? What about the God Pigeon? Do you know him? I'm trying to talk to you. Alright, I guess you're camera shy. My plans are for the next couple days is to film this here in St. Louis. And I'll be doing a few other things too. I'll be walking around, talking about a few other things that's around this area. And if I sound winded, because I am, I walked from the hotel all the way out to here, and it's a good little walk. I didn't feel like paying for parking. It's just about anywhere you go to park, you got to pay for it. So I'm being on the cheap side, I know, but and plus it gives me a chance to walk around, see the sights and stuff like that. You can't see that if you're driving. You can only see it if you're walking and looking around. Okay, I'm like right next to the base of this thing, and look at the size of that thing. It stretches way, way up there. I don't remember how many feet that is to the top. You can see there are little windows at the very top of that. Extremely tall. But of course you got the mighty Mississippi crossing right here. Crossing between Ohio, or not Ohio. I'm not in Ohio yet. That comes later. Crossing Missouri and Illinois. And then you've got this beautiful bridge over here. Not the bridge that arcs up real tall over there. I'm talking about this flat bridge right there. That is the Eads Bridge. And there's a lot of history about that bridge, and I will talk about that in a little while. Okay, so we have made it to the very top of the St. Louis Arch. And look at these little windows here. See Busch Stadium right up here. That looks like they got a game going on today, or there's something going on out there. So you got the old courthouse sitting right there. Over here is the, well, it used to be the Everett Jones Dome. Right there. I'm not sure what it's called anymore, but that place is special to me because back 2003 is where I first saw Metallica. They're on their one of their summer tours, and me and some friends went out to go see them. I had just gotten out of high school. I just barely graduated high school, and I was really surprised my parents let me go. And of course, you're looking west. It is a long way down. We're right at the very top. 630 feet. That's a very long way up. And now we're looking east. You got the Eads Bridge right over here. Again, I'll talk more about this bridge later on. You got the Mississippi River down here. And of course that's Illinois over there. I keep wanting to say Ohio. I don't know why I want to say Ohio for it. It's not Ohio, it's Illinois. Second time I've wanted to do that. Got a little boat cruising down the mighty Mississippi.
Where's our bus? Because we need to take.
So that was a little nerve-wracking going up inside there. I forgot how tight that elevator was. People inside there asked me not to video them, which I respect. But I was, you're inside this thing and it's like extremely cramped. And being tall, you have to really duck your head too. You have to really bend over. But you're almost sitting on everybody else's lap. You're almost bumping knees. Pretty much, it's so tight in there. And I think if you got 4 tall people in there, it's not a easy task. But we made it, and it's 4 minutes up in the elevator and 3 minutes down. And I don't know if you noticed when I was videoing that, how, a lot of people wonder, well, if it's an elevator, how in the world do you get up there without falling over? Well, and as you're going up, it adjusts. And so, which was a very clever idea. It adjusts so that way it stays level the entire time and you're not falling over on the other person as you're riding in, or riding up or riding down. It's so cool. It's a brilliant idea on how it's done. So, a little earlier I mentioned about the Eads Bridge. This is where I'm at. I'm on the Eads Bridge right now. It's a fantastic structural wonder here, because it's like one of the first of its kind to be made out here. The bridge was made out of steel, and steel at the time was a new material, and people weren't really sure how it was going to work. And Andrew Carnegie, Carnegie Hall, same guy. He was in charge of building this and used steel to go across over in the Mississippi, because he couldn't block the steamboat traffic going through, stuff like that. So he had to come up with a different way of doing this. So he came up with using steel. And on July 2nd, late 1870s, they had 14 locomotives go through here as a test, as a final test. And then before that, they marched several circus elephants across this bridge, right here on this bridge. Now the reason they did that was because people were scared that this bridge wasn't going to be able to hold up. They thought it was going to collapse, and people were very superstitious, thinking that, an elephant won't cross an unsafe bridge, so they marched elephants straight down and they crossed it, no problem. So after people realized that this bridge was safe, that made Andrew Carnegie's reputation skyrocket. People started asking him for steel structures. And one form of steel they wanted was the business he was familiar with, was the railroad system. They started turning their rails into steel. And after that really took off, he started going to where he couldn't afford, because steel was very, very expensive. And he got to where, he was struggling to afford to build things like this bridge. He ran out of money pretty much, and advertised for investors, and which worked. But after that, he got to where he was struggling to even keep up with these orders. He had so much business, and then after a while with the railroad companies, he started getting a different kind of businesses of buildings. They wanted to build from the ground up with Carnegie steel. So that made him like one of the wealthiest men in the world. And only to be second to John D. Rockefeller, who was richer than he was. And that sparked a huge rivalry over the rest of their lives. They had a huge rivalry of who could be the richest, and by any means possible. And they did a lot of things that, business-wise, that's highly illegal now, that you can never get away with. But back then, in the 1800s, things like that had never been heard of, and there were no rules. So, you know, Carnegie was pushing his men, you know, about 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, just to keep up with his demand. So check out these guys behind me. These guys just rocking out here on the side of the street. I wonder what they're playing. You know, this dude's got a, looks like an accordion. Got kind of look like a guitar kind of thing set up here, and he's got like a saxophone kind of going on. And there I got all three got fish heads on them. Wonder what song they're playing. Maybe that song on The Little Mermaid, Under the Sea. Maybe. I don't know. What's a good fish song? I don't know. It's amazing the things you see just wandering around downtown St. Louis. You know, it's not often that you see streets anymore that are original brick. I think that's pretty awesome. Alright, so I decided to last minute come to a wax museum. Check this out. Looks like W.C. Fields. Maybe Louis Armstrong right there. Kind of reminds me of Inspector Gadget, but I don't think that's who that is. Okay, so we got looks like Michael Jackson standing here. Michael Jackson got kind of a mustache thing going on there. And let's see, we got, I guessing John Lennon sitting here. Kind of looks like Ben Franklin in a way. And what we got with Elvis Presley right here. Elvis Presley looks like he shaved his chest. Kind of lost some weight too. Got kind of a long neck. Not 100% sure who this is. So anyone I don't know. If you got any ideas, I'm not talking about Michael here, I'm talking about this dude. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. I'd like to know. This kind of looks like Bing Crosby in a way. I know he did a lot of golfing. I could be wrong though. Some of these people I'm not 100% sure who they are. And then this guy, I'm not sure if it's Clark Gable or maybe it's Vincent Price. The size of his hand looks monstrous. His hand's bigger than mine. See, then we got what looks like Whoopi Goldberg standing there, and we got David Hasselhoff standing there. So it looks like we've got Princess Diana and Prince Charles. She don't look too good. Zoom in on here. Side of her face looks like she's kind of missing something right there. Like a piece of wax fell off of her or something. Prince Charles looks pretty good. He looks better here than he does in real life. Huh. Let's see. Got Elizabeth I, Henry VIII, Yeah, every time I see Henry VIII, I think of that Herman Hermit song, Henry VIII. What's funny is I was watching an episode of The Simpsons, brand new episode, and Homer's talking about Henry VIII, and me and a friend was sitting there watching The Simpsons. That episode's brand new, and he's talking about Henry VIII, and I start singing that song by Herman's Hermits, Henry VIII, and here comes Homer as Henry VIII starts singing that song. And she looked at me, she's like, "You've seen this before." I said, "No, I swear I haven't seen it. I'd never seen an episode. I just guessed that I didn't even realize Homer was going to be singing it." So, let's see, you got Catherine Parr, Anne Boleyn, Catherine of Aragon, Catherine Howard, Anne of Cleves, I think it is, something like that. I'm probably saying that wrong. And then Jane Seymour. I'm not really sure why they're all looking down. It's look kind of sad, and all these women here. One of them's looking downward. I wonder why. Here we've got the Last Supper. We got Judas standing up here. Philip. Matthew standing up. Simon Peter in the green sit down there. Thaddeus. James. Of course, you got Jesus standing up right there. John standing next to Jesus. Let's see, I think Andrew sitting down. It might be John. Might be John, James, Andrew standing up, Simon, Thomas, and then Bartholomew. I think that's right. And again, why are they all looking down? I don't get that. You know, Andrew over here, he looks like he's off in outer space. And Jesus, I don't know why he's looking down like that. That's kind of weird. And we got another shot here. This was I think it was the Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus standing there preaching, spreading the word. Here, I think this is supposed to be Daniel in the lion's den, maybe? I think. That's my guess. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And here we've got the birth of Jesus. Mary and Joseph standing there. I don't know what that is supposed to be. Oh man, that is I don't know what that's supposed to be. That's pretty hideous looking. Look at it. Kind of like a deformed camel or something. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Everybody else looks pretty decent, but that, ugh. I'm taking a bat and beating with a stick. And then, let's see, it almost looks like we've got Joseph probably teaching Jesus carpentry, because Jesus was a carpenter, just like Joseph. You've got the crucifixion of Christ. That thief is missing a finger.
For you today.
And he's missing a hand. Look at that. See if I can get up there a little better out of the glare. Missing a hand. But of course, though, you know, the thief could have lost a finger. He could have stolen stuff. And at that time, you stole something, you lost a finger. Either chop it off or chop off your hand. And Jesus, he's missing some fingers too. Look at that, he's missing a finger on here. He's missing his thumb. That thief's leg is kind of cracked. His knee's a little And you got the other thief over here. Looks like his ankle, so his leg, look, his ankle is literally breaking off, and his up around his shin's kind of broken too. Let's see, what was it? The one thief looked at him and at Jesus and said, "Remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom." And Jesus said, "For this day you'll be with me in paradise." Pretty awesome. And you got another shot of Jesus here. And I guess that's must be Jesus after he rose, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay, so moving on, now we got some superheroes. We got Superman, and Batman, and Spider-Man on the other side. You know, to be honest, it don't look like wax at all. It looks more like plastic. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question, who's better, Superman or Batman? It's a good question. I think I like Batman more, but that's just me. Spider-Man's eyes are kind of glittery. I like that. There's Iron Man. We got Captain Jack Sparrow. Gotta say Captain. If you don't say Captain, he'll get upset at you. So we got Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, and the Power Rangers. I met the Red Ranger once, the original Red Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Austin St. John. I met him down in Kentucky. I think I made mention that in another video, but I'm mentioning it again. Let's see. Oh, we got Dobby. Dobby the house elf. And he looks pretty good. They did a good job with him. Alright. Let's see. We've got R2-D2. Chewbacca. Chewbacca kind of needs a haircut there. His hair's right over in his face. So we got Stormtrooper here. C-3PO. Anakin Skywalker. Yoda. Let's see, what was his name? Watto? Is that his name? We got Jar Jar. I like old Yoda. Watch my videos, you must. Oh, I am so sorry to all the Star Wars fans. That was terrible. Okay, so you're all going to hate me for this, but I am not a baseball person really at all. So I can't tell you who some of these people are, but the only ones I can tell you who it is I'm guessing that's Babe Ruth sitting here. I apologize for not really knowing anybody else. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just not a baseball person. Then we got Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's got some dirt on him. He's seen better days. Looks like we got Martin Luther King standing here. Gandhi. I'm guessing George Washington Carver. Thomas Edison. Salvador Dali looks kind of spaced out there. Mark Twain. Albert Einstein. Let's see. I think it's Howard Hughes standing in the back against the wall. And then we got Alexander Graham Bell, inventor of telephone. Christopher Columbus. That's actually a pretty good thing of him. Looks like he's got his maps out, ready to set sail. Neil Armstrong looks like he's kind of off daydreaming here in space. He got to get his helmet on. It's not safe to not have a helmet on in space. So I'm guessing that's Liz Taylor. Richard Burton. And we've got the popes here. I guess that's Pope John Paul. And Pope John Paul II, I think. And that might be Pope John Paul I, maybe? I'm not sure. He's got an extremely big nose. No disrespect to him at all. He's got a really big nose. So it looks like Napoleon. Always like Napoleon on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I like that hat. Oh, no, we got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh, look at the honkers on these guys. We're missing a couple dwarfs. Oh, here they are. They're up here. Let's see if we can remember who they are. Of course, we got Snow White. That's pretty good. Let's see. That's got to be Grumpy. Boy, these are... I know Dopey. Of course, he's easy to figure out. That looks like Sneezy up there, or Sleepy. Is that what it is? Sleepy? You know what? It's just way too hard for me to figure the rest of these guys out. His eyes, how they're popping out of him. Well, he's seen something outrageous. And he's got a dead bird on his hat. Well, there's something my dad would like. Planet of the Apes. He loves those original movies. George Washington. Looks like we got a bunch of presidents here. Looks like Shemp Howard with that hair. What is up with that hair, man? Come on. And JFK's here too. That's kind of weird. Okay, so we got the Men in Black here. We got, let's see if we got Will Smith. It's not a very good thing of Will Smith. That's pretty good for Tommy Lee Jones there. Mr. Spock. Captain Kirk. Can you do the, anybody at home do the Spock's hand thing here? Like that? Live long and prosper? I used to have some Spock ears, but I don't know what happened to them. Alright, so now we enter the horror part of this. Oh, this is going to be great. Look at this dude. Being hanged and half his body's missing. Wonder what he did. So here we got Frankenstein, or young Frankenstein. He called himself Frankenstein. I love that movie. It's one of the best movies ever. Oh. He seriously enjoys his job too much. Wow. And Beetlejuice. He's the ghost at the most. Good old Beetlejuice. I'm not saying his name again. You don't want to be sorry for saying that name 3 times. Ah. This is crazy. My gosh. That's hideous. That's pretty bad too. I feel like at the end of the day of let me try that one more time. I feel like that at the end of a work day or a long work week. The man himself, Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. I really don't know anybody who can play toccata and fugue in D minor. That's what you're hearing in the speaker behind me. If I knew how to play an organ, that would be one thing I would do. I'd go to a church and I would sit down and I would play that song. They probably wouldn't ask me to play organ again. Wow, that's gotta hurt. Got a meat hook right through him. Pinhead. His mouth just moved. Okay, I did not expect his mouth to move. Ugh. What are you looking at, Four Eyes? He's got an eye on me. Wow. This is crazy. Excuse me, partner.
Do you know what she did? Your hunting daughter?
Well, that's just frightening. Whatever you do, don't go to sleep. Freddy Krueger will be after you in your dreams. Ugh. That's lovely. Ow. That's really gotta hurt. Look at that. It's pulled up on his nose. Pulling up above his eyebrow there. Pulling on his ears. Jeez, that's gotta be painful. Oh man, it's pulling on the back of his head too. See if I can get around here a better shot of that. That's gotta hurt. The villain from the movie Scream. Did you ever watch those movies? They're pretty good. Anybody scared of clowns? That's some of your worst fears. That sounded right weird. Wow. This is very, very weird. Okay, so we got a poster of Bob Marley on the back. And we got just a regular old family just sitting here chilling. And he's kind of missing a couple of teeth there. I'm not really sure how that ties in with the horror. Maybe it's a scary movie I ain't seen yet. I'm not sure. And we got a witch. Maybe the Wicked Witch of the West. You know, the one thing I'm not used to about being in a big city. See, I'm used to living in a small town area. You know, not extremely busy, but I'm not used to being in a big city like St. Louis, where you gotta pay to park anywhere you go pretty much. It's always somebody got their hand out wanting money on things like that. It's kind of frustrating, but you know, it's city life. Glad I don't live in the city. Glad I live out kind of more small town country. Thanks for joining me on my first part walking around St. Louis, tour of St. Louis. I'm not going to hit every major area. This is only just a little scratch of the surface of what's to see and do around here. Just kind of enjoying myself. But I hope you enjoyed this part 1, and stay tuned for part 2 of St. Louis, walk around St. Louis. This is going to be my first ever doing a part 1, part 2 video. So I think it's going to be my first part 1, part 2 video. I don't know. What matters is tune in next time, because I will have another shot of walking around here, and hopefully I'll be joined by a friend. So I will catch you guys next time. See ya.